legendary cartoon exhibit has come to the Strong Museum of Play, and the good news is the exhibit is dog-friendly.
I wonder if he really means that. Scooby-Doo and the gang are inviting families to go on an adventure and solve some mysteries, and they need your help. Chris Lopez is there bright and early this morning trying to solve those mysteries himself. Look at that. He's a sleuth.
Hey, Chris.
What is up, guys? Trying to solve the mystery. I was not a Scooby-Doo kid. A Nickelodeon kids. I loved the Rugrats, so I didn't pay too much attention to Scooby-Doo. Did a little bit of research. Scooby-Doo is 5 decades old. Started on CBS, 1969. Carrying on a lengthy tradition, and it's found its way here, an exhibit here at the Strong Museum. Tours around nationally. I have Shane with me. Tell me a little bit about the synopsis of this part of the museum.
Yeah, so Scooby-Doo Mansion Mayhem. So this new exhibit open here until May 4th. So the idea is that our guests come in, they get a magnifying glass. I see you already found yours. And there are clues throughout this entire mansion setup, and they have to help catch the jewel thief. So we need your help.
And it opened on Saturday already. What was that turnout like for this brand new exhibit?
So we had just about 4,500 people here last Saturday when the exhibit opened. So I think that goes to show that Scooby-Doo is still popular, still going strong. I know you mentioned that it's been around 5 decades. So started in 1969. There have been so many versions, iterations, comic books. I mean, lunchboxes with Scooby-Doo on it. You think it's sort of become this big part of American pop culture, and it really continues to be that.
And for this exhibit, is this for what range would you say age-wise for this? Is this, it is a family-friendly event, but like what kind of kids should be play detective here?
I think for that kind of younger to medium-aged child set. So it's not going to be for the toddlers necessarily. They'll love walking around. It's colorful. It's bright. They'll probably want their picture with the mystery machine or with Scooby here. But solving the mystery may be a little bit tough. But you think your elementary school-age kids that are into reading all the labels, want to solve the mystery, want to participate, fantastic for them. And really anybody that has that Scooby-Doo nostalgia that grew up watching the show, I think it's just going to have a big smile on their face walking around and seeing some familiar friends.
I would imagine the adults pretty nostalgic walking through this with their kids or even playing some of the games as well. How many different interactive things do you guys have around here? We're going to be getting into them in just a little bit, but roughly how many?
Yeah, there's easily a dozen plus things that you can do in the exhibit. There are 5 or 6 distinct zones. So we happen to be standing in the kitchen right now. So Scooby and Shaggy, they like their snacks. So a lot of opportunity to do some food play too.
Guys, I'm going to be brushing up on my Scooby-Doo history throughout the morning, also simultaneously trying to figure out what is going on here and solve the mystery. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. We will be here throughout the morning.
It's a whodunit, Chris.
I'm confident you can do it, buddy.
Yes, yes.
Time right now is
7:07 this morning. The Strong Museum of Play is collaborating with an iconic cartoon character, bringing fun for the whole family.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and the gang are inviting families and young detectives to help them solve a mystery. So we go live to Chris Lopez, who's there. Chris, what are you up to?
He's been looking at the same clues now for like 45 minutes.
Seems like we are having some technical difficulties there with Chris. Maybe he can solve that mystery. And
did we get that solved?
Right.
Right, let's...
Oh.
This mystery, this is
clever disguise.
very odd.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Now we are back in business. Thank you to Velma. I'm at the clue analyzer right now. You can start out here. Gather all of your clues in this area.
Excuse me, are you still there?
Velma's a little bit much this morning, and she has been in between the hits, so we're just going to leave her alone. We'll start this over, but that is one of the dozen areas that you can explore here, and I want to go over to Shane. We have this area, too, very interactive. We're there with the clue analyzer with Velma. Over here, we got the bookcase. What are we doing over here? Help me solve this crime throughout the morning. What am I doing?
So we are looking for the jewel thief throughout this entire mansion, and there are clues in all of the different areas. There are green thumbprints, and we have our fancy magnifying glasses here to help us identify those. So if you can find one on this bookshelf here, and I think it might be down there.
I'm going to scan it around. We got quite a few books over here. Oh, man, stumbled into one. I don't know how I did that, but here we go. We're already solving the clues as we're making our way through the morning. No, wait. What did I just find? What did I just find? I just missed it.
So that reveals that our ghostly thief may not be a ghost, and in fact is a person. So we learn a little bit about their disguise in there. And the idea is that you gather all of those clues, you know, the paint that they're wearing, the different outfits. And when we get all those, we take them back to Velma, and she will help us later analyze the clues. And we actually create a sketch of the villain so that we can unmask them, like at the end of the episode.
And I've been eyeballing this all morning long. I get to play some tunes. This also helps us get to the mystery, to the bottom of this. Let's see what we got.
So we're going to see if you have any musical talent here. So the idea is that you follow along with this pattern. There's some letters here on the keyboard.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, Shane. Boom, boom. Voila. And we have some of the jewels here.
Yeah. So the good news is we have found the jewels that have been stolen. Now, next up, we have to find out who did it.
There we go. Stay tuned here on Fox Rochester, and we're going to find out who exactly did it throughout the morning. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. Very fun exhibit. Sunday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday and Saturday, they stay open a little bit later, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Back to you guys in studio.
I have a sneaking suspicion, Chris, that it was Abigail who stole it. She's got a lot of extra jewelry on today. I'm just saying.
And she's not here in this.
I know.
Right. She's gone, isn't she?
I know. Suspect, my friend.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Stick around. Marty has a look at the forecast next.
All right, Marty, thank you. A legendary cartoon exhibit has come to the Strong Museum of Play, and this exhibit is dog-friendly in a way.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and the gang are inviting families to go on an adventure and solve mysteries with them. So we go live to Chris Lopez, who is at the Strong Museum for us this morning. Chris, what's next for you?
Trying to figure out the mystery here. I've enlisted Fred to help me. He's an expert trap builder. You too can enlist Fred. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. You can stay a little bit later on Fridays and Saturdays. Stays open here at the Strong Museum of Play. The Scooby-Doo exhibit here. Enlist Fred and the gang to help you out. I'm looking forward to solving this mystery. It's been a long morning. It's been a rough 24 hours. I'm trying to get this thing done. I bring in Shane this morning. Ton of interactive spots. How many total, before we get into this one here, for the kids, interactive-wise, how many are they looking at?
There's probably a couple dozen things that you can do in the exhibit, and it all ties back to this central mystery. So the Scooby-Doo gang has split up. They are gathering clues. You and I have been gathering clues here all morning. So we're trying to figure out who is the jewel thief, where did the jewels go, and behind me here, Scooby and Shaggy, of course, are on their own doing their own thing, but they think they saw ghosts, so.
And this one here, one of the interactive, this one's pretty cool. In here, I'm gonna describe it to you. You guys can't see this, but there's a spot where you place your feet, and then bada bing, bada boom, you have an interactive gameplay that you two can run with arms only or full body in here, and you can work your way through a haunted mansion to solve the mystery you're seeing right now. You got Scooby, and then brush me up. Who is the male to the right?
So that is Shaggy, who, if you're a big Scooby-Doo fan, you know when Shaggy sees a ghost, he is out of there. So with this interactive, he is fleeing the mansion, and he's inviting you along for the ride, and don't run into the wall.
Here we go, and then we're dropping, score going up. How long does this last here?
So it goes through a few iterations. So
I'm already doing terrible. Yeah, we're gonna move over from one interactive site to the next interactive. Now this one is pretty cool. I like. How long does something like this take to set up? Roughly fast, or?
Yeah, so we might be a little bit better at trap building here. So this is something that Fred set up, and then So you can kind of work your way through and see how this trap works. Next to it, there's an area where you can work on your own trap building skills.
Okay, walk. Hitting this.
So next up is this button here.
What am I doing? Okay.
All right, so there you go. So a test to make sure that works.
And for this, how's it been? You guys opened up last weekend. You guys are a few days in. What's the turnout been like?
So yeah, we opened last Saturday, and people have been overwhelmingly positive. We had a great turnout on Saturday. I think it goes to show that people still love Scooby-Doo. We were talking earlier, Scooby-Doo's been around since 1969.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where parents, grandparents, almost every generation has their version of Scooby-Doo. There's been so many different iterations of the show, but it's also bled out into so many other pieces of pop culture. So if you think of the comic books, and there's a segment in here that has all of the old lunch boxes with Scooby-Doo on it. So really it's become a part of American fabric of life.
And you guys, this is a national traveling exhibit, and I was looking at it, they're very selective as to where they go. They don't go to every city, which you would think of the big cities. They don't go to Los Angeles. They don't go to New York City. They go to Rochester and all of these other museums. Is there a curation process between you guys, or do they choose you?
So our exhibits team, we build most of our exhibits in-house, but the space that we're in now, our short-term exhibit gallery, this is a space that we often rotate exhibits, keep things fresh. And so there are some museums throughout the country that do these traveling shows, and they may only go to 3 different cities in a given year. So it's not sort of the thing that, well, I'm going to see that at some point. Like the fact that it's here in Rochester, hasn't been here before, it's exciting for us. As we were just saying, people love Scooby, so it's been a great turnout so far.
How can someone grab tickets to this?
So tons of information at museumofplay.org. You can learn more about the exhibit, take a deep dive. Also check out our other exhibits. If you haven't been here in a while, things are always changing at the Strong National Museum of Play.
And we're going to have information about how you can get tickets, more information on Scooby-Doo and what they got going on here at the Strong Museum on our website on Fox Rochester. I'm going to send it back to you guys. We are getting closer to solving the mystery. I wonder who it is. Dan is gone. Is Dan jacking jewelry from Abby? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Abby was a suspect last out.
Whoa, wait, hold on. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
What? Are you kidding me? Come on, Lopez. I think you might be the one behind it. You're pointing the finger quite a bit.
Who knows?
Yeah,
He's
all
checking.
right.
I don't know. I don't like jewelry, but we'll see.
All right, Chris. Thank you. And looking ahead to Arc Rochester as we approach 8 o'clock this morning. At 8:40, Hot Ones is premiering a new episode tomorrow night, and it features a product made locally. So we're sitting down with Karma Sauce to talk about it and try some of their hot sauce.
At 9:20, a music venue downtown is hosting a benefit concert for a local cancer support group, and we are getting a closer look at some of the headliners.
And at 9:40, we're introducing you to TJ, the host of a brand new radio show playing over Rochester airwaves and throughout dozens of cities across America. We'll be right back.
You want to be a tourist in your own town? Well, look no further than right here on ARC, because the Strong Museum of Play is collaborating with a legendary cartoon character, and so far it's been anything but rough.
Scooby-Doo and the gang are inviting families and young detectives to visit and help them solve a mystery. And Chris Lopez is up bright and early trying to solve the mystery with the gang. And Chris, what's going on?
Guys, I promise you in this hit, the mystery will finally be solved. We've been at it now for almost 2 hours trying to find out the whodunit in this rough story tale. And we got to get to the mystery machine. Now, I was doing a little bit of research on the mystery machine, trying to pin it down to one exact vehicle. And I thought Scooby-Doo would have their stuff together. It's about 5 different vehicles throughout the 5 decades, so I can't really name one. This one is a Chevy here. I bring in Shane here at the museum. First of all, how did this get in here? Did someone drive this? Did someone push this? Or did this magically appear?
So you can't have a Scooby-Doo exhibit without the iconic Mystery Machine. And there are a few different versions that can travel with this exhibit. This is one that actually can be driven. So it was driven to the museum, and then they have to empty out all the oil, all the gas, so that none of that is obviously inside the space here. But it was somebody's lucky job to sit in the driver's seat while it was in neutral, while everybody else in the museum had to push them through the halls.
Scooby-Doo's right now taking the driving seat. And what's this? You can't get in here. You can't drive this, right? This is photo op opportunity once you solve, or?
Yeah, so this is a big photo op. We've seen a lot of people posting it on social media. It's just such a classic item from the show that everybody's loved having their photo taken with it.
We've been working all morning, right? The van is fine and all, but we got to get to the bottom of this mystery. So we got to continue with the clues over here. We got some artifacts. We got some jewels, right? The epoxy resin right here. Is this one of the interactive sites? It looks like we can pull up and down some of these flaps here and find out a little bit more about the mystery.
Yeah, so we're getting down to our final clues here. I think we're getting close. Here you can, there's a map that kind of shows where the ghostly villain has been seen throughout the mansion. We start to see some of the jewels, start to know what might be missing.
That map looks like a map of the station at Channel 13. I have my eye on you guys back at the station. Is it Steph? Is it Marty? Is it Dan? Is it Abby? Is it producer Ashley? Did Jonathan Hanna leave already and he just jacked all the jewels? I don't know. We're going to find out. And then we have here, we're getting towards the end. Green paint, another interactive station. Flip this bad boy open. Shane, what do we got here?
So here we are learning that it's in fact not a ghost that is in the mansion. So this person, we are now finding out it is a person, has had green paint on, which is glow in the dark. It has gotten on their shoes. So throughout the exhibit, there are footprints. You will find green thumbprints on things. So those are the main clues. I know we found some of them earlier. I don't know about you. I'm starting to put it together in my head what might have happened here.
I think I know too. We got the pill bottle. Okay. We got the reveal. I definitely know who it is. We got the green paint.
So if we go over here, we can unmask the villain. And as I suspected, it was you, Chris, all along.
I'm not a jewelry man myself, but I could not resist taking the jewels from the museum and my band, or what, Shane?
So normally this would be a lifetime ban from the Strong Museum, but you've done such a good job hosting us this morning that I think we'll probably let this one slide, but hopefully you've learned your lesson.
And you too can find out who done it. Case closed. Maybe it was me, maybe it wasn't, maybe I was acting, who knows. Sunday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can stay a little bit later and solve the mystery into the nighttime hours from Friday and Saturday all the way until 8 p.m. Shane, how can someone find some tickets?
So you head to museumofplay.org, tons of information about ticketing, about the museum, all those hours that you just mentioned. But you can also just show up and get tickets right at the desk.
There we go. Case closed, guys. I'm sending it back to you in studio. It's still a whodunit. I don't admit that I did it, even though I admitted back
seems like
there.
you're being
I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio and let you figure that out.
What I'm thinking is for a children's museum or for a children's exhibit, it certainly did take Chris a very long time to solve that mystery.
It did. The point is that he got it done.
Did he?
He did. Case closed.
Case closed.
He's got the sign to prove
You
it.
can't just have a sign that says case closed and say it's case closed.
Sorry, Chris.
We need an arrest,
Yeah, I can.
Chris.
Yeah.
We need
My show. Yeah, I
I'm
can.
calling Bello. He's going to meet you down there.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you,
All right.
sir.
Time right now is 8:21. Don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to get to coming up on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're going behind the story.
We're back after this. Good Thursday morning. Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We appreciate it. I'm Dan Schrack.
I'm Abby Fridman. We still have a lot to get to coming up in the next hour and a half, but we're going to turn back to Chris Lopez, who is still at the Strong Museum for us this morning.
Yeah, all morning long, we've been seeing him explore the new exhibit that takes families on the adventure to solve a mystery with Scooby-Doo and the rest of the gang.
Yeah, but if mysteries aren't really your thing, there's a lot more to do at the Strong Museum. Chris Lopez, live there, giving us a look around. And Chris, there is something for everybody there, kids and adults.
Yeah, guys, so we're in the World Video Game Hall of Fame right now, and I'm starting to play Street Fighter. This is nostalgia at its finest. I'm absolutely terrible, but I can flip over people, and that's how we get the job done. I'm here with Shane this morning. It's Video Game Hall of Fame season, right?
Yeah, so exciting thing happening here at the museum. We're opening the time frame for our big World Video Game Hall of Fame. So right now, our nominations are finishing up. So anyone out there that's a gamer, that grew up playing games, has a favorite game, maybe that they even play on their mobile device now, end of February is the time to get your nominations in. Okay. And then we are going to be announcing finalists and holding our induction a few months down the line.
And I don't want to give too much away to anyone that's trying to submit a game, but how do you guys go around with that process of selecting people that get into this? This is the only spot in the world, essentially?
Yeah, this is the only one. So Rochester is home to the World Video Game Hall of Fame, known internationally, especially in the gaming community. So really, it's a huge thing for us here in the city. And the process, we get nominations from all over the world. So we get thousands of nominations, hundreds of different game titles. And then we have an internal team that winnows it down to 12 finalists every year. So that list is going to come out in March. So keep an eye out for that one. And then from there, we actually have international folks. So people that are scholars, that know gaming journalists, and they winnow that 12 down to typically the 4 or so that get inducted in any given year.
And so I know we can't explore this entire spot, but what are some of the games that are in here? If someone wants to come here, it's winter time. Not too much going on outside. It's really cold, even if there is something going on outside. But in here, if they want to explore this space, what can they kind of expect once they come in here? This place is really cool.
Yeah, so that's what's great about the World Video Game Hall of Fame. You don't just come and look at artifacts. We certainly have many of them, but it's a fully interactive space here. So this exhibit, part of our ESL Digital Worlds, was built with our 2023 expansion.
Okay.
And just around us here, you can play some of the games that have been previously inducted. So Sonic the Hedgehog, the classic Sega game. Of course, Super Mario Brothers, which was kind of like the Babe Ruth of video games, was the first class 2015 nominee. Street Fighter 2, which we have been doing, I would say, a rather poor job of playing this morning, but we'll brush up on our skills maybe after this. But if you think of some of the best, most iconic games of all time, there's a good chance that they are in the Hall of Fame. And if you look at the list and they're not in there, that's why, again, we're encouraging folks, let us know what we're missing.
And then how special is that Rochester is the only place that the Video Game Hall, there's nothing like this anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's super special for Rochester that we are the home to the World Video Game Hall of Fame. We are really an epicenter for game history through the museum side of things, but Rochester itself is really becoming a major gaming hub. We have a lot of independent gaming companies. You have all the work that's happening in the gaming world.
RIT.
Yeah, RIT, I was going to say. So what's happening at the university scene here, we really are becoming a major North American epicenter for video games and the study of games.
Someone wants tickets to check this place out. Pretty cool. Where can they go?
Yeah, tons of information at museumofplay.org, and there's also links on there to nominate those games too, so let us know.
There we go. Been fun solving the mysteries of Scooby-Doo, checking out Street Fighter and the Video Game Hall of Fame. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. A very nice place to stay warm, learn some things, check out some pretty cool artifacts. Back to you guys in studio.
Chris, are you going to be going outside at all this morning, out to where they've got the big game board pieces?
Yeah.
No,
absolutely
he's
not.
Us. No.
He said it's too cold. Too cold.
Fair.
We get it,
all right.
Chris.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Time right now is 8:35. We still have a lot to get to coming up on ARC Rochester. The next segment, we're very excited for.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu thanks to one local hot sauce brand. You won't want to miss that.
Yeah, don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the break.